Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to more of the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening playthrough for the Nintendo Switch. Last time we made some progress to get here. This is the fourth dungeon of the game. Let's go ahead and get right to it, kind of get things moving here. So level 4 is the Angler's Tunnel. As you can see, it is kind of a water dungeon, but unlike other water dungeons in Zelda, I honestly feel like this one's actually pretty lenient. It's not too complicated. It's pretty straightforward, I'd say. Honestly, it's a pretty nice dungeon to just kind of go through really quickly. You can get some bombs there if you're running low, so that's always nice. The beginning of this dungeon is kind of awkward a little bit, just because there are a couple of weird little checks you have to make before you actually try to move on. This is just the stone beak, so don't need to really use that, but I will use it whenever I see a statue, just to try to showcase the hint, usually. And then if we go up here, we have another chest, and this is the dungeon map. At last. It's only the second treasure chest we opened, and we opened it like within the first minute, so I don't know why they said at last, but to each their own. Okay, so right here, this is actually very interesting. In the original Link's Awakening, just due to how the boots worked in that game, you could actually kind of sequence break this dungeon a little bit by doing kind of a run, jump, and then if you hold up, you can kind of skip to a later part of the dungeon on the north side. Obviously, you need a key, so you can't really do too much with that, but one of the favorite things I tried to do with this dungeon when I played this game, you know, back in the old day, you can still, I think, make this, but it's a lot harder in this version just because, again, the boots kind of change a little bit in terms of how they work. I mean, you still essentially use them in the same way, it's just that they functionally feel different, I guess is the best way to say it. So yeah, if you ever see a rock with, like, holes in it, like that one block did, that's usually an indication that you can use a bomb, so do not neglect to use that. And if we go up here... Oh, come on! I just barely touched the corner of that. I should have not actually gotten knocked out for that, but whatever. So anyway, let's go ahead and blow this up, grab this. I believe this is just a compass. Or no, it's another small key. Wow, they actually have two small keys, like, right in a row. Not that I'm complaining or anything, but I just find it kind of interesting. I feel like this would be more of like a rupee chest or something, but I don't know. But yeah, basically you could use those two small keys, essentially skip this part down here, and get to a much later part of the dungeon with these small keys. Again, just kind of one of my favorite skips in this dungeon, at least for the old version of the game. And again, I'm sure it's still possible. I'm sure speedrunners could definitely make it work. I am just not a speedrunner. I'm a randomizer runner, which is really, really much different. So, yeah. It is pretty interesting, though, that there are... And honestly, there's like a lot of different things you can kind of sequence break in this game anyway. Okay, come on. For some reason, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons today. I've been playing like a lot of different Switch games as of late, so I'm used to like one button being kind of like designated for one action and then another button for another action. Then when I switch to this game, and it's funny because, you know, this is a Zelda game that has like a jump button, so literally even the jump button is kind of confusing me. I just gotta find that a little funny. I believe this is a decoy chest. Oh no, it's the compass. Never mind. Not a decoy chest at all, actually. This is probably... Oh wait, no, we have the compass already. Oh, I guess we picked up... Oh yeah, I guess the compass was like one of the first things we got. Never mind. I am just forgetting everything today, apparently. Okay, so we gotta actually destroy these... Are these... I mean, they're supposed, I guess, to be Tektites, but they don't really do the jumping that Tektites do. So I guess they're not really Tektites, question mark. Who knows what the hell they are, really. So yeah, when you go north through here, you'll be probably about in the area. Yeah, this is the that jump that I was alluding to earlier. Basically, if you grab those small keys and come this way now, you can basically kind of skip going through that loop at the bottom, which is definitely kind of nice. But otherwise, you just, jump over here like you normally would. Get rid of these dumb little gel things. And, uh-oh, got one of these guys. Boom. That's really weird. He can poke us through the wall, but you can't poke him through the wall. It's kind of unfair, but whatever. Okay, so this room right here, this is a kill-all room. Kill the gels, and a small key will appear. Unfortunately, it falls to the basement and lands in water, and as you know, we're still kind of being hindered by water, so we'll have to kind of come back for that key a bit later. Come on, don't... Okay, good. That's like, can I really not get that heart? That would have been pretty annoying. Okay. Come on, leave me alone. The glint of tile will be your guide. Okay. Sounds like a very cryptic hint. That will more than likely make sense when we get into another room of the dungeon. That's generally how a lot of these has worked out. Oh, dang it. Kinda wanted to get that piece of power. But alas, it was not meant to be. It was not meant to be. Why am I singing? Okay, no, you know what? This is the decoy chest I was thinking of earlier. So yeah, in this chest we have, just a decoy, so destroy the enemy and move on. Nothing to see here. You can also get some hearts right here too, which is kind of nice, if you need some health. I believe up here you need a key to progress, or, okay, not exactly. But this chest right here will give you a key. I think I'm thinking of something else that I can't quite get to yet. Oh, look at that. SlimKirby thinking of something else. So if we try to go over this way, you can't actually see the boss door. And again, it's harder to do in this version of the game, but I think it is very much possible to do a running jump and get over there to kind of clip onto the ledge to kind of take a bit of a shortcut to the boss room. But again, we don't have the big key anyway, so we're not going to do that regardless. But still, again, it's another nice little shortcut you can take advantage of in this dungeon. A lot of interesting little skips. I feel like I said this already, but there are like a lot of interesting skips in pretty much every dungeon in this game. It's honestly a lot of fun seeing like speedruns of the original Link's Awakening. Maybe not to like the same exact degree, because a lot of speedruns will kind of like clip over like boundaries and stuff. But when you do kind of like a normal like no glitches type of run, I think it honestly looks kind of cool. So here we got a mini boss. This boss, not really too hard. He'll go around the perimeter of the room. You can actually jump over him and slash him. This guy actually does kind of like. I mean, in the original game, he still basically did this, but I think he actually like kind of turns around more often in this version, which can kind of be a little, well, not really, well, it's annoying for sure, but it does kind of catch you off guard sometimes. Shouldn't have too many hits left. Sometimes you can kind of get them like that, which is kind of neat. Should be like only a few more hits. There we go. I always thought it was interesting how that boss, or that mini-boss, and the mini-boss in Jabu Jabu and Ocarina of Time were kind of similar. Because, yeah, they basically went around the perimeter of the room. You had to hit them in the back. So yeah, in this room you have to pull this lever to keep this blocks. They'll kind of close in. So just gotta have to be kind of quick about that, I suppose. These guys, and grab the dungeon item for the dungeon. It is the flippers. You probably expected that. The flippers are very helpful. They, as you would expect, allow you to swim in water, which is always good. So, that's definitely good. These guys can be kind of annoying. You have to hit them from behind because the mask kind of gives them some perfect defense. There is another item we can use later on, but we obviously do not have that item yet. So right here, this is kind of the tile puzzle the hints were kind of alluding to. So if we follow the glint of light on all the tiles, that'll open the door back up, which we don't really care about, but honestly just getting that solution is helpful enough. So we're going to do a little bit of backtracking before we go towards the boss. First off, we're going to go over here to get some rupees. We don't really need rupees anymore. I mean, we do because I'm going for 100%, or my definition of 100%, which means we'll need to purchase a lot of different things. But if you just want to beat the game normally, like we pretty much have... Well, actually, no, we don't. There is one other thing I'm forgetting about that you do have to spend money on, but I want to say the next dungeon has like a very, very expensive ruby chest, so we should be able to get that no problem. So yeah, I am going back this direction. Let me make sure before I commit to this. Yeah, there is a chest there, so there is a good reason why I'm doing it. I always miss the first jump. And the second one I always make, and I always feel like I don't make the second jump either. So weird. It's like the second jump is you always go further for some reason. I believe this is also just rupees, so yeah, 50 more. So that last expense that we need, since again we have the bow already, is going to be 300, and considering we're already like up to 200, yeah, we should get that no problem. And we don't need that until after Dungeon 6 anyway. So, yeah, we're pretty good there. Actually made the jump the first time this time, which is kind of nice. Let me just make sure the key is spawned down there before I do this. Okay, it is. It's already down there. Good. Let's go down the stairs and see what we have in this room. Boop, 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 boop. And there we go. Got the key. So... I guess I could have tried to do a running jump right there, but... Well, there we go. That's perfect, Slim. Good job. You just ran right into some spikes. How do you feel? I feel punctured and wounded right now. Okay, so we have a small key. I want to say this small key goes to the boss. I never remember which staircase is which for this next part. I want to say I want to go over here, back to the tile room first. I want to say that's the first thing I need to do. Hey, get off of me. You weirdos. Oh, the heart's no longer there. Okay, so yeah, this is the tile room. Well, one of the tile rooms. I want to say it's the same pattern as before. Yeah, okay. I just did that to be sure. And of course I don't even remember it. Good job, Slim. Good job. Oh boy. I was too busy explaining the tile puzzle to pay attention, apparently. So now we're going to dash through here now that we have the boots. I really hope I went the right way. Want to say we're good. We are. We're perfect. So there we go. The last treasure chest of the dungeon. Obviously going to be the boss key. The nightmare key. Whatever. Same idea. Nightmares or bosses. Don't care what anyone says. So yeah, with that, you can take that shortcut, or try and take that shortcut I was talking about earlier. But we're just going to go this way, the normal way, because it's right here. And, might take me less time, because if I keep failing, then obviously I won't be making any progress. So, we'll just go this way. Here we are. We have made it to the boss room. This is a pretty empty boss room. Well, that's because we gotta go downstairs to fight this boss. And the boss of this dungeon is a giant anglerfish. Bloop bloop glub glub oog food bloop glub. So yeah, the anglerfish, honestly, he's not hard. In the original Link's Awakening, this guy's a joke. He has some more unique attacks here, I think, which is good, but, I mean, still, he just aims for his frickin' lantern thing, avoid projectiles, that's really about it. Literally, this guy is just a big fish. And there he goes. He's already dead. Yeah, definitely, I think, one of the weaker bosses of this game. For sure. But there we go. We beat him. Get another heart container. I want to say that's the last container. Or no, that's the first container of our second row. Interesting. So yeah, we're more than halfway done with our health now. Well, I guess not technically true since we started with 3, but still, at least in terms of our max health, we're more than halfway there. And yeah, that is it for level 4. Again, not a terribly long dungeon. We get our 4th instrument of the sirens, the surf harp. And yeah, feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Bay. Your road goes into the bay. Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow? I love that place. So anyway, before we start making our way to the next location that we have to go to, a couple of things we can do now that we have the flippers, and we're definitely going to be trying to go around the map to try to get these things. First off, let's go ahead and go into this establishment right here. Say hello to Mambo. I am Mambo, child of the sunfish. Have you got an ocarina? Yes. Aha, then I can teach you my song, Bloop. I hate to say it, I think that was more entertaining in the original version of the game, but I do like hearing like the little fish noises in the background. So yeah, we've learned a new song. We've learned Mambo's Mambo. When you get out of the water, play it. Wow, how insightful. When you play my Mambo, you can warp to a warp point around the island. Try this tune in dungeons too. And since today's special day, I'll let you warp to Mambo's pond too. Cha-cha-cha. So yeah, that's one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite parts in the original Link's Awakening. Unfortunately, I think they kind of lost a little bit of the charm of it. But again, it's still nice. It's still nice. Before we use that song and I start explaining what it does, we're gonna be heading over here to another cave we have. Yes, this cave right here. This cave is literally just a giant pool of water, and as you can probably see over here, there is a piece of heart. So we're going to dive down and grab that. There's a lot of pieces of heart that they added inside bodies of water in this game. In some cases, they've added pieces of heart to just like random transition caves. Mainly just to get like the max health of 20 hearts that you would see in other Zelda tiles. I'm not like super crazy about that change, but like, or not really change, but like it just seems like really unnecessary. But again, it's a fairly minor complaint, and not really even a complaint when you think about it. It's just, again, something I found really weird. That's like, okay, well, let's just find a random body of water and just add a heart piece to it. This basically takes you back to that warp path that's over there on the kind of the east side over here. That warp point right there, basically. There's a staircase over there. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm actually going to be following this path a little more. Because I want to say there are some goodies we can get. Oh, that's a piece of land. Never mind. Yeah, I believe if we go this way... Oh, our radar's going off. Let's dive. It's a secret seashell under the waterfall. Kind of an easy seashell to miss, too, so definitely make your way over here and pick that up whenever you get a chance to. We'll talk about that ghost in a minute. We're currently in the moat of Candlelit Castle, and if you follow this moat to this side, I believe there is, yep, another piece of heart. Once again, showing that this game's way of just adding new pieces of heart is just shoving them in the bodies of water. And yeah, that's that one taken care of. Can't quite get out of the water here, which would be a nice little sequence break otherwise, but unfortunately, can't really do much with that, so we'll just keep following this around, see what we can find next. Actually, kind of being on this side of the map is kind of useful. So yeah, the ghost is talking to us. He's telling us that he wants to go to the house by the bay. I'm not going to start that in this video, but that will be essentially the next thing I do. So we'll definitely take care of that. Just not going to really worry about it at this exact moment. For now, let's just keep on just following the path here. I believe if we go down here, we'll end up at the Seashell Shrine, which is kind of where I want to be. Yep, okay, good. This is exactly where we ended up. Cannot complain. The reason why I'm here is... And it's funny, because, like... I missed this earlier. And in my defense, my TV is like really bright, so this sparkling spot actually kind of like blended in very well with the patch of dirt. This is actually a warp tile, if you dig here, which will allow you to, once again, warp to any of the warp tiles that you've found in the game so far. And again, a lot of people were commenting how I could have gotten this warp tile a lot earlier and made a couple of trips a lot faster, but... Again, I just wasn't thinking about it. And you can also now warp to Mambo's pond, as the fish talked about. Speaking of which, I'll go over that really quick, and then we'll probably end the video there. So let's go ahead and equip our ocarina. Notice how Marin's face is on it. If you equip the ocarina, it'll give you a choice between the songs you've learned. So let's go ahead and put Mambo's song on, and let's play that. And much like the warp tiles themselves, they'll allow you to warp to any of the warp tiles you found in the game. So, just to demonstrate, let's go to... I'm trying to think of what would be the fastest one. I feel like at this point we're actually where is probably the best place to be, so I'm not going to really worry about it. But yeah, you can essentially warp to anywhere, and you can also use the song in dungeons, and the song in the dungeons works pretty much how the mirror works in Link to the Past, where it just takes you to the front of the dungeon whenever you use it, so it's kind of a good shortcut to get to the beginning of a dungeon if you ever need to go back to that. But yeah, that's gonna, I think, do it for this particular episode of Link's Awakening. Thank you guys for watching. Next time, we're going to take care of this ghost that's following us, and then we're going to be doing some overworld stuff just to kind of take care of more of that. Not going to be starting the next dungeon in the next video. In fact, there is actually kind of a mini dungeon I want to do before the next video, so I might actually take care of that first. So yeah, that's kind of my plan of attack. But this has been SlimKirby. Thank you for watching Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. It's been a lot of fun, this project has, and can't wait to play more of it. So yeah, see you guys next time. Later, folks.